Hello, hello, and welcome back to another car conversation or new episode of Make America Think Again with Shaunavonn. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for my recent donations. I really, truly appreciate you, your token of love, your blessing. Um, Stevie G, I believe, was the highest donor this past week. So thank you, Stevie G, and to everyone else who donated, and then also just to those who have subscribed, those who are listening to the podcast. I see you, I see your comments. If I don't have enough time to respond to everyone, I'm so sorry, but I do see that you are watching, that you are liking, and that you are commenting. Now let's talk this ceasefire. That is it a ceasefire or not? Like what's really going on here? So we had back and forth between Iran and Israel, and then America felt compelled to jump in. Why? I know, but also I do not know. And then we were supposed to have a ceasefire as of yesterday for what, 12-hour period of time, according to Felon 47. And right after Felon 47 announces this, third party announces this, Iran and Israel are over here still exchanging fire. So this morning, Felon 47 wakes up all in a huff because, he wanted to jump out there and say, hey, we have a ceasefire. I negotiated it. He wanted to take credit. That's basically what he wanted to do, is take credit for this. And then Iran and Israel just rain on his parade because they were handling their business all night. They were handling their business through the night. So he got mad, went on television, well, not television, he was talking to reporters, and he said, they, talking about Israel and Iran, don't know what the fuck they're doing. But the person who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing is him. And he's also the reason why we are here. You do know that. His insane jealousy and insecurity in regards to Barack Obama is why we are here. Because the first time he was in office, he pulled us out of the Iran nuclear deal, the US. So Iran could do its thing, get the components together, get the uranium together, get the stuff that you need to build these nuclear weapons. When Barack Obama and many presidents, this has been a concern from many presidents, and Barack Obama finally did something about it. And then this dude got rid of it while he was in office the first time. So now here we are in 2025, still dealing with the same shit. Okay, that's the breakdown of this situation. And then he gets mad because he wants to get out in front of things and tell everybody what's going on, which, by the way, projecting and putting out your plans and telling the world that our planes are in the air, or they just landed in Missouri, or strikes are going to happen soon. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Like, why are we telling the world? But he wanted to get out in front on his little social media page or place, and he wanted to get out in front and say, I procured this ceasefire, and this is what's happening, and Iran and Israel just ignored the hell out of him. So then he's big mad. He's big mad this morning because they made him look like a fool. He already looks like a fool, but they made him look like even more of a fool this morning. All right, so he's big mad. Now, we understand that we are here because he pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal back when he was in office the first time. And then on top of that, the reason why we, US, was supposed to be stepping in to help out Israel is because, remember, we had these big, what do they call, bunker buster bombs, right? But let me tell you something. He also comes out again and he says, oh, we obliterated their nuclear sites. We did not. We did not. He telegraphed what was going to happen. Iran got their shit together, moved their uranium and all the products, all the stuff that they needed for or these nuclear sites. They moved it all out of there, so that stuff didn't get hit. So technically, this only puts them, I don't know, a couple of months behind. Did not obliterate anything. So you have him out here jumping in front of two other countries saying that there's a ceasefire when there is not a ceasefire. And then you also have him coming along and saying that we obliterated these nuclear sites when we actually did not. So if the man's mouth is moving, it is lying. It's lying. He's lying. That's all he does. Now, I want to talk about another critical component here that's happening. You're hearing this conversation about sleeper cells. All right, let's talk about that. So sleeper cells are people, human beings that have, and I'm not going to say infiltrated, but they're implemented in different countries, different states, different cities, and they have been there for years. They have been here for years. They probably have families. They have careers. They are they could be your neighbors. They are embedded in our society. Okay? And what you recently heard mainstream media talking about, oh, sleeper cells, Iran is going to awaken their sleeper cells. So these people that have been planted here in America years ago that to serve as, think spies and all the things that spies would do. Spy. They gather information, they get intel, but they also can take some people out. So that's what you're hearing, this narrative. Now, let's go back to 9/11. 9/11, same shit happened. We were attacked. They sent soldiers to Iraq and they were saying, oh, you know, Iraq is responsible. So we lost a lot of military personnel. If they made it back, they lost friends and family that were in the Iraq war. And then we also, millions, we actually took out millions of Iraqis. And it was all bullshit. It was all bullshit. Just like what we're seeing right now. So that's why you have a lot of people saying this whole sleeper cell narrative is about something else. This is about getting us Americans, because we have been trained, we have been conditioned. I want to use psychological term. We have been conditioned, especially since 9/11. When you hear the term terrorist, most of you, especially white people, envision somebody brown. That's number one. You're going to envision somebody brown. You're going to envision somebody that looks like they're from the Middle East, because we correlate that with the term terrorist. A lot of Americans correlate that with 9/11, if you're old enough to remember 9/11. Now, the terrorist is domestic terrorist, and that looks totally different to me. But a lot of people still have this in their memory because of what happened in 9/11. So they're trying to stir up and manipulate fear in Americans by using this term sleeper cells and getting you afraid of the fact that somebody that's in your class, somebody that works with you, somebody that lives in your neighborhood, somebody that owns the grocery store on the corner, they could be a sleeper cell and they could be coming after you. That's what they are trying to do. Now, why would they do that? So there's a lot of different angles where we can see that this authoritarian movement is trying to take root, is trying to get a hold on Americans and get us to bow down, basically. So they try it with the fear that is being instilled with the mass deportations and with all these icy people jumping out that are masked, that fully covered from head to toe and not identifying themselves, right? So they try to instill fear that way. and hoping that they break our will and people will just succumb and go along with what they are wanting us to do. That's why in the midst of all this, in the midst of everything that's going on in the world, in the midst of what I just told you about the past couple of days and us being involved in this Iran-Israel situation, that is why we still in LA have military with boots on the ground and the National Guard here babysitting protests that have basically fizzled out, but they are still here. Now, if things are so critical, if we are in such dire straits in this country of these sleeper cells and being terrorized or some sort of attack by Iran, why do you have military sitting in LA? And when I say sitting, I mean sitting in LA, babysitting two federal buildings, some peaceful protests, and some graffiti. Why is that still happening? If there's such, this horrible situation that is happening, and we are supposed to be under this fear that at any moment Iran might attack us and these sleeper cells might be awakened. Does that make any sense to you? Does that make any sense to you? I want you to think about that, because that's what this podcast, this is why I started this podcast, because I wanted to make people think again, think about the viable options. Think about what makes sense. Think about what makes sense to you when they give you this information and tell you that these horrific things are going to happen. So the reason we are here is because of Felon 47, when he was 45. The reason why he blew up today, because he is Felon 47 and he likes to brag, he likes to be seen, he likes to be the center of the attention, and he likes to take responsibility for everything good, like any narcissist, like any good narcissist would do. Anything great that happens, he wants to be the first to take responsibility and receive the kudos for it. But he doesn't want to get blamed for anything bad that happens. Don't blame him for anything bad, because he's got to put it on Biden or Obama. He's got to put it somewhere else. That's the narcissist. Okay? So the narcissist showed up and said, I'm pissed because Iran and Israel did not listen to me last night after I said ceasefire. There was supposed to be a ceasefire. Dude, you only, unfortunately, run one country and your damn mouth. You don't run them. You don't control them. And Iran came out and blatantly said, we never agreed to anything. What is he talking about when he initially floated it out there? So here we are today. He's talking about that we obliterated these nuclear sites. That shit didn't happen either. And then today, literally before I started recording this, he posted again on his sad little social media site. He reposted some music video, and the lyrics or what he wrote on his page was bomb, 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 Iran. Iran should be turned into a parking lot. Iran should be turned into a parking lot. Bomb, 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 Iran. Aren't you the same person that went on live television and used profanity because Israel and Iran didn't listen to your ass yesterday about a ceasefire? And now today, this evening, less than 24 hours, you are posting about bombing Iran? make you run into a parking lot. Y'all listen, I ask myself at least 3 times a day, is this shit real? Is this really happening? What the fuck is going on? Because I couldn't write this. I'm a writer. I'm a very creative person. I can come up with some shit. This though, what's happening right now, I could never, never, never imagine a person so cold, so callous, so soulless that they would make a joke about a potential war. But that's where we are. That's where we are. I just wanted to keep you all up to speed, make sure that you are watching all of this, because I just cannot believe that this individual is at the helm, is sitting in the Oval Office. This individual is supposed to be the leader of a country I live in. He's an idiot. He's either an idiot or just stone cold crazy to post something like that in the midst of all that's happening. And the fact that you woke up this morning mad because they didn't listen to you yesterday, within 24 hours, you are telling one country to start bombing the other. I couldn't make this shit up. I couldn't make it up.